Time now for Homeschooled, presented by Audi, as we're joined by SNY contributor John Harper. And Harper, you know the ebbs and flows of a regular baseball season better than anybody. But how much has the Mets stock changed since they left Atlanta last week?
It made a big jump. I'd be investing right about now, Eamon. Yeah, I think the biggest thing, we've seen they have some grittiness to them. I keep saying there's a little bit of magic. You know, they win games in late innings. You don't think they're going to win. But really now we're starting to see maybe this offense might be ready to turn a corner. Those 3 wins over the weekend, 2 against the Yankees and then 1 against Milwaukee, against Woodruff, really good pitcher. You know, they hit with runners in scoring position, which has been a problem all year. I think it was 14 for 36. Some big hits that have been missing. And you see guys like Dom Smith and Pete Alonso starting to find their long ball stroke, which I think is really important. This team needs those kind of guys. They need some power that's been missing this offense. And getting Nimmo back as well, it really looks like maybe this offense could take off and be the kind of offense everybody thought it could be this year.
Yeah, you can't make much more of an immediate impact than what Brandon Nimmo has done since returning to the lineup. Now, you wrote a column recently for SNY.TV ranking potential pitchers the Mets could acquire before the deadline. From your reporting, who do you think is the most realistic target?
Yeah, and let me say first, Eamon, I ranked them in order of the most likely to be acquired because I don't think the Mets, they don't want to give up, and Andy Martino reported this today, they don't want to give up a lot. They don't have a lot of high-end prospects in their system. They want to hang on to them. So I think they're going to be looking to acquire the guys that aren't going to cost a lot, hoping that Carrasco comes back at some point. So I've got a guy like Zach Davies, the Cubs, 10 losses in a row, might be 11 the way they were going tonight. I think they're going to be sellers. Davies is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. He's a solid guy, real good changeup, kind of a back-end starter, but I think that's what they're going to be looking for because he's not going to cost you a lot. Maybe a John Gray from the Rockies, same type of situation. Guys that are in there going to be free agents, so teams aren't going to be able to get a lot for them. There are other more attractive names, Barrios, Marquez, and Gibson from the Rangers, but those guys have more control beyond this year. You're going to have to give up top prospects to get one of those guys. I don't think, unless it gets the situation becomes more dire injury-wise for the Mets in the rotation, I don't think they're going in that direction.
Davies allowed 2 earned runs in 5 innings in the Cubs' loss on Monday, and we'll have an update on Carlos Carrasco later in the show. Now, John, there is no history whatsoever to try to predict how Steve Cohen will react to having a first-place team approaching the deadline. But is there a possible go-for-it-all move out there for the Mets to make?
Yeah, there might be a couple of them, Eamon, and that's, you know, I was making calls today talking to other people around the league, and that was, people were saying that is the wild card, the X factors. You know, a guy like Cohen with the team in first place, he might say the heck with it and go ahead and decide to trade some of those top prospects for a guy or take on a big contract, whatever. I think the splashiest move he could make maybe is Kris Bryant of the Cubs could be available at third base. We know he could fit in there, give the Mets another jolt of offense. But I really think that the biggest move they could make, the most important move, impactful, would be Barrios from the Twins, the pitcher. I think this guy's got ace-like stuff. He hasn't quite gotten to that level in terms of performance, but he's a guy that can shut any team down when his stuff is right, when he's on, has a good night. You add that guy to that rotation as it is, with or without Carrasco, and they can go in and they really have a championship-level rotation that could easily dominate anybody in October. So that would be the guy. It's going to cost you a lot in prospect capital, and I don't know if the Mets, they're saying they don't want to do that, but, you know, maybe Steve Cohen says, hey, let's go win this thing right now.